As title says, I live in an hospital, a very old hospital that turned home for elders, and after that it became a place for elders that awaits death. I knew all of this before moving in, and it did not bother me at first. But after a few days after moving here, me and my girlfriend started hearing strange noises from the kitchen, as if someone was touching kitchen appliances and coffee maker. Both got pretty scared, and but we eventually went to bed. Those noises became more frequent and louder. At one point, my girlfriend jumped up out of the bed and went to the kitchen and said loudly, "Leave our home alone. You do not belong here." And it got quiet for a couple of days. But only a few days. Those noises advanced and got closer to our bedroom, almost as if you could tell by the sound where it was. It got worse and worse, and one night while sleeping, I get this super eerie feeling in my body, just as if something warned me. I immediately woke up and sat up in the bed just to make sure I was not dreaming. I went to the bathroom and drank some water and back to bed. While in the bed, lying down, not sleeping, I feel the corner of our mattress pushed down. I got scared. I could not move. I could not wake her up. So I was alone. My eyes teared up and I felt super cold. I told my girlfriend the next day, and she asked me why I did not wake her up, and I explained it all. We have been living here for about 3 years now, and these things do not stop. When I had been out and smoking a cigarette one night on my way to my elevator, I have to pass a glass door, and I did, but when the door closed, I heard clear as day footsteps from the exact same path as I just walked. I got this eerie feeling once again, and all I could do was to stare at the elevator button while waiting for the elevator. Felt like forever before it came, and when the doors opened, I was thinking finally and stepped in. To my surprise, those footsteps followed me inside. I got so scared, I started to cry really, really bad. I could not do nothing, but I remember the feeling the one behind me gave me. It was just as if he stood behind me and was just wanted me to turn around because he knew I was scared. When floor 1 came, the doors opened up and the whole thing was over. I walked to our apartment and started to cry again, so my girlfriend asked if something had happened outside, and I told her everything. These things I just wrote about are a few of my own experiences from the hospital. There is more. We had heard this place was haunted and that you can get creepy things to happen if you are being a dick to the paranormal. I have always been able to feel things and have that eerie sixth sense of some people joke about having. The day we went was Halloween 2018. It was about a 2 hour drive away and supposed to be fun. I went with one of my best friends at the time and my husband, both of which are huge skeptics. Right off the bat, when we get into the parking lot, my alarms in my head are screaming at me not to go there. That something in there is bad, and of course, like the idiot I am, I go. When we got inside and were surrounded by candles on the desk and greeted by the caretakers and tour guides, we're told we can only use our phone lights and can only take photos, and we begin our tour. The hospital had so many open doorways, but they had these cage walls to keep people from away from climbing over and taking things from the inside. There was so much graffiti on the walls and holes in the ceiling and cracks. We have come to a room full of old dolls and a rocking chair, and I feel a creep on my forearm. The caretaker and guide tell us about a small child who will play with the guest if they take her ball and roll it on down the hallway. And if you take a doll from her room, she is not thrilled with you and can scratch you. Of course, we could not expect a normal night on Halloween in a haunted location because once we started moving on in the tour, it began the storm. We start following the guide to the next hallway. They continue telling us about all the amazing artifacts in the hospital still intact, like the metal bed that was just a slab that so many have died on. Once we enter the kitchen, I immediately feel a difference in energy, like someone was following us but not hurting us. The guide then asks us if anyone gets the burning sensation to speak up, because the other night when they did a lockdown investigation, one of the girls on the team with tattoos got burned marks out of nowhere. I did not think much of it until we started walking down the hall where the other patient, JT, died waiting for someone to help him because his friends abandoned him in the doorway. I could feel cold on my hands and arms. When we went upstairs, we went to see the chapel, and I felt so lightheaded standing and staring into the broken room down the hallway from the chapel. I could smell sulfur and rotting eggs. The smell was so bad that I had to cover up my nose. When we walked further down the hallway, we passed a room and a huge waft of soap hit my nose and I felt a hard tug on my backpack. I was wearing another tug at my hand on this section of the tour. No one was behind me and my group had gone ahead of me as it felt like I was being held back. I walked towards the front of the hallway and get an urge to look down the hallway. No one was supposed to be in. I saw a tall figure-like skinny man with one hand out bent, like he was waving at me, and a bright white light in the other hand, like a phone, but like brighter. I started calling my husband name because I thought it was him. He has a tendency to wander off, and he came out from a stairwell where everyone else was. and I could not believe I saw an actual dark figure with yellow eyes. One of the guys came up to me and asked if I was alright because I could not believe it. Was this what the smell and the tug was from, or am I just crazy? When we finally got downstairs to exit, I told my husband and the best friend in the car what I saw, and both said they felt cold gust of wind, but I thought it was the storm. After that tour, I had night terrors for almost a month. I would wake up crying and shaking because I could see figure in my room, but whenever I would be able to actually get up, it was gone.